Okay, we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. All the hundreds of people here. Good afternoon. So today we are going through. So we've got our list here. Got a couple little quick ones, which are just very quick. I could have just done them very quickly, but I'm kind of enjoy doing everything in front of you guys. So buff holy crit. So we go to artifacts. Well, at first we just go find me holy crit. I just feel like this should be a little bit stronger. So at the moment, if it's a 5% chance it will happen, I think a 10% chance is good. Then we have holy crit, and then we just have to update the tooltip here. And that's it. That's how we buff holy crit. Nice and easy. Not too difficult at all. So that is done. And then here's a slightly more, thank you, my darling. And here's a slightly more interesting one, is consider swapping Berserker and Shield Bearer. So, yeah, and I said consider it. That was the correct language because I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. So, when you're fighting against the humans, rather than having an orc as the sort of special enemy, you have a shield bearer or a priest, right? So either of those can come up as the kind of special enemy. Except I sort of think that a berserker is a bit more interesting. When you have a berserker on your own team, it's just a normal unit. It's just like the soldier, but he carries a hammer instead. So, but, you know, for the enemy team, I think it might be fun to have the berserker be a bit stronger. I don't know. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put a pin in that. I think it's probably fine as it is. I'm not even going to put a pin on it. I'm going to delete it, and it's going to stay in my memory. Okay. So here we have the character select screen. So we did this yesterday, and we got it working. We got it finished. Got a cold coming in, but not quite yet. Yeah, we got the this screen working. We got it fully functional. Works just fine. The code is nasty spaghetti, but it does indeed work. It does indeed function. So that's good. However, so the next thing I need to do is set up a tutorial for it, so that when the player sees this screen, I don't know, do we need a tutorial for it? I've got that on my list. I'm going to try and roleplay as someone who... Oh, it's not fully functional. Uh-huh. Okay, what's the issue there? Play button on click add listener play. Is it because I haven't set up the play button yet? Well, that's an easy fix. Yeah, that was just the last thing I did before I stopped yesterday. So let's fix that. We just need to say that the play button is in fact the play button. There you are. So this button gets you playing the game. All right. So I kind of want to get into the headspace of someone who's seeing this menu for the first time. Okay, something went wrong there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Something about the encoder taking too long. I did check and I changed the settings. Encoder is taking too long. Well, hopefully that's not going to be a fatal issue. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. All right. Hopefully it just won't happen again. That's the aim here. All right. So where was I? Yeah, we've got a bit of dead space here, and what I was saying last time is that I don't mind a bit of dead space. I think dead space is fine to sort of make something feel simple. But what I would like, so the simplest version of this, I just want space to put a header there. The problem is, so yeah, if we just took this button here, moved it down, and I'm going to say the difficulty panel shouldn't just say, it should say select difficulty or choose difficulty. I don't know, select difficulty, just to let it make it clear. And so we have our select hero button, and we want another piece of text. Hello, copy and paste. There we are. And apparently the stream is still working, but I'll keep an eye on that because it did go off for a minute. And we want to say choose hero. And this would be up here. Oh, that kind of feels like it's enough space, actually. And we're actually still... We would have to say hero description. Where is our hero description? Selected hero button text. Yeah, that's not the best naming for it, but that'll do. So we could just move it down a little bit. I can hear a screaming child downstairs. I'm sure everything's fine. Just a bit of screaming, didn't hurt anyone. And let's take our hero button and let's just make it a tad smaller. That should be scaled. So it was, yeah. So we've actually got plenty of space to have this. Say 260. Yeah. All right. That kind of feels good. Let's take this panel header and make it off black. It's consistent off black is 0.2. That's what I've been doing so far. And with a nice semicolon. Choose hero. And we've got our text here. Awful naming convention, but it'll do. And that can be like that. 150, 300. And there we are. And we've made the space for it. And this can still stay up there because if we have... what does it go down by? 150 each time. 160. And then if we had a third one, I think that's all right then. Minus 320. Let's confirm that it is going up by 160. So that's hero upgrade display, and that wide pause goes down by 160 each time. So we actually still have space and can therefore move this down like this, just to give plenty of room for that header. That looks good, I think. Okay. Yeah. So we need another one of these. Put it in the enemy panel. This will say choose level. It's about the same. What's the first one from the middle? 115, okay. And I like round numbers. Don't ask me why, but I do. So even if 53 is technically better from a design point of view, I like round numbers. So I will go for 50, 90, 90. Round numbers are fun. Okay. And then we need to just simply take our stage select button, selected stage button, and move that down to a nice round 250. And each of these could stand to be a little bit lower. So let's say 55. And the second one. And level is the wrong word, it's stage. Okay, and then we've got our stage description text. Look at it in the scene so we can see the outline, and already it looks like it's going to have no issues fitting without rescaling. So that's nice. And what I'm imagining is a little bit of information overload from some users when they get to this screen. A little bit of, oh my god, look at all of this that's going on. And I think, yes, I'm going to put a note to sort out the random button. But I think that's the case with all of these games. When you get to, I'm thinking of like Mega Bonk, you get to that character select screen, and it does take a second to figure out what's going on there. I expect players will try and click these to change them, but they won't be able to. And maybe they'll notice this sort of visual cue that this outline means it's a button. They might start clicking on the factions, but at the moment that won't do very much. They might start clicking on the difficulties, and they'll find that they do in fact work. Oh, one thing I ought to test, just while it's fresh in my head, is are we hiding the difficulties that are unavailable? Compiling's taking, well, it doesn't take too long. Yeah, these are nice and hidden, can't be selected. And of course, it's very clear as the player mouses around, it's very obvious what can be clicked and what can't be, right? I think that growth, we might want to go, oh yeah, so another thing is I need to redesign the buttons here. So we're not out of the woods yet. Redesign, or redraw, draw, character, select buttons, don't, expand, highlight. I think the expand is nice for the level up buttons, so if they're picking an upgrade. But for these, I think it's actually would be nicer if they just kind of had a white outline. And so we want to, I think these buttons are fine. And then we've got that kind of shiny look for a pressed one. I don't know if that's appropriate, but it works just fine. And then these can look a bit different because at the moment they are just clearly repurposed square assets where we want them to be their own shaped assets, a little bit more subtle, a little bit tighter edges. Oh, this is wrong. So what's happened here? These aren't quite in the correct spot. Why is that starting at -50? It's because it's anchored to the top. Oh. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's awkward. What's going on there? That must be a internet error. Maybe my internet's just going a bit slow for a minute. I'll have to look into that. OBS. YouTube not receiving enough video. And I'll just find out what are the possible causes for that. It could just simply be a matter of internet speeds. I recently just got wired internet up to my office here, so it shouldn't be having that problem, but we'll see. Okay, so this is slightly up because the anchor is off. So let's go sort that out. That's where they should be appearing. So yeah, if the anchor is there, but we want to see where it is if the anchor's at 0, and then that's the true position for it. That will work. Okay, let's delete these. Okay. And what is a better word? Choose or select? Choose stage, choose hero. Okay, at the top here, we still have it. It still says choose stage. So the header, game settings. Game settings. Yeah, okay. What do we think? No one's here, but choose or select. I think select is better. I think select is better. So let's go with yeah, I mean, I'm sure any UI designers will probably vomit at the sight of this, but I'm not a UI designer. I think it gets all the information across with a nice big button to press. It keeps everything on the same page without overwhelming the user and gives them all the information they need to make an informed decision. So, yeah, take the headphones off. Alright, looks good to me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Losing my train of thought a bit. We do still want to keep this open. More beans to do. And yeah, so let's do the tutorial here. So that was the question. Should we do a tutorial here? Select hero, select stage, select difficulty. I mean, I don't think I need a tutorial here. However, what I would like is so for the controller, this is going to be awkward. Let's see how that feels. I don't actually expect a lot of people to use a controller here, but what I would like is for the potential of releasing this game on console one day, and of course they're going to want to see that the game runs, so I'm using a controller now, that the game runs perfectly well. This doesn't feel too bad at all, to be honest. I feel like I can select whatever it is I want to select. Oh. Okay, grey out. I need to, so if we've got humans selected as an allied faction, we should grey out humans as an option for the enemy faction. So grey out, unavailable option for enemy factions. Okay. And I guess for the hero as well, we should do that. That should make sense. Okay, and here, so I thought that when we so hero transform, so yeah, okay, so when we open, okay, yeah, here it is, open heroes, we need to say to the event system, and what is that event system? We need to tell the currently selected object to be many apologies for the stream cutting out there. So apparently there's an issue with my encoder. It says this one is taking too long and therefore it timed out. So I don't know what that's all about. Many apologies for that, but I'm going to look into that for the next stream, and if it happens again or if it happens too often, then I will go and fix that. Okay. So yeah, this is an easy fix. So what I'm saying is that when we open this menu, we kind of lose access to the controller, right? But what I've just done will fix that, because what we say is that we say set the currently selected object to null. In fact, that's probably not necessary if we have this. So we say when we open the heroes menu, or when we open the stages menu, go and like just select the first one there, which will help me navigate with the controller. Because otherwise we just kind of, you can't select something if nothing is selected. Dear oh dear. Okay, let's look at streaming settings. Yeah, we might have to cut the stream short actually, because output, video, encoder, streaming.
Or the streaming thing.
Yeah, no, I've changed the settings. I've sorted it out. It's just, yeah, go get the baby. Okay, has that fixed it? Looks like it has. I'm not getting the buffering thing anymore. It says excellent connection. I changed the thing. I've updated it so that it should work now. Yeah, should work now. Alright, so that button looks a bit weird coming up behind. But let's check this works. Yeah, see, that's what we wanted. Oh, but it's not happening for the stage. I thought I really, really feel silly for not having done this. Okay, and we want to make sure that the play button and the random button as well come up on top. Random button and exit button should, I guess, then be at the bottom of this list, even though they're at the top of the screen. Alright. And yeah, the stream seems to be working functionally now. But this isn't. Yes, because I need to go to the title screen menu first. Okay, so these descriptions, when we give the description, is that the only place? Yeah, that we should also upgrade.names. That. Okay, so far so good. All right, how are we doing? Okay, this works, and it works with the controller. And actually, I don't find this too offensive with a controller. Like compared to something like some of the games I've played recently, which don't really do a good job of working for a controller. I think for these, so I'm just looking at these prefabs now. These hero upgrade displays, that's what I've called them. Okay, I think we do want hero upgrade name. These would be over here, pivot at 10, oh no, 0, 10, and if we said this is a sword, and then the text needs to be aligned to the bottom and the middle, and that's better. So when we do this, we are in fact asking for that, and this one is giving us the name. And that will look nicer, that will look tidier. Yeah, that's better. So apologies, we had a few technical difficulties, but it looks like those have been fixed. So that's good. Fixing things. Fixing things that should not have been broken. That is my job. Right. Upgrade the names, upgrade the descriptions, and that will work. Okay, so it works for the controller, and I mean, tell me if I'm being lazy, but I don't think I need. I thought maybe we would feel the need to update to like have extra controls in there, so like pressing R1 to switch between tabs. But I actually don't think it's too busy with the controller. I think it would be more busy having to like, oh, okay, so it's like R1 to change difficulty, and oh, R2. Oh, that's one thing that I find it's because the mouse was there. Oh, and it's like L2 to I think it is actually easier just navigating. I think that's actually much easier. Like, I really don't have an issue with it. I can always switch to mouse, which will be... And again, until we do think about doing console, I think this is fine. And even then, I mean, Expedition 33, fantastic, beautiful game, 10 out of 10. Was horrible even on console for using a controller. Like the UI was a bit weird and awkward for controller use. It made sense for PC, but it didn't make sense for controller. It made sense for keyboard and mouse. Okay, let's test something. So I set this difficulty to that, and let's just press play. Oh, that doesn't work now. Okay. Well, that's another thing. I was so confident that that would work. Okay. So, play button, add clip. No, don't do... load scene. Yeah, load scene should be... Why does it assume that I want the coroutine? Okay, let's just change that to load scene routine then. And then we will start the coroutine. This was done to make life easier and it's had the opposite. Okay. Okay, we just don't need that. All right. Oh, and that's why it was reading it as a routine. Okay, let's just undo all of that. So yeah, we just have a routine for that, and if we just get rid of the text here. There we go. Okay, and let me check the stream that it's not broken yet again. And no, it's not broken yet again. That's nice. Right. The things I did to fix it did indeed fix it. Right. So yeah, sorted out for controller. Skip this screen if no other heroes or stage unlocked. So what we could say is like if, for example, if save load current profile dot tutorial scene is equal to false, then we simply load scene. And just for consistency, let's say selected hero equals title screen dot heroes 0, selected enemy faction equals green beans. Selected, what are the variables we have here? Selected stage equals stages, no, title screen dot stages 0. And so we've got our hero, we've got our enemy faction, we've got our stage, and of course our allied faction, and difficulty is 1 selected, which should just happen anyway. Should just happen anyway. But let's put it in just to be sure. Okay. So yeah, skip this screen if no heroes or stages unlocked. I think just skipping it for the first time you load the game, just to really reduce that friction for the first time you play the game. So if you've never played the game before, you press play and you end up in the game. Okay. I want to test. So the next thing I want to do is test that it can remember what my previous choices were. So let's say I picked Orko and level 2 and picked the ramparts and then press play just so it kind of saves it. Will it save it? I don't know. If not, then maybe that will be the issue. Like I would have to complete a run, but I don't want that to be the condition. So let's just see if that worked. Ha! It worked. Except it didn't keep the stage. Okay, so was it last used stage? Okay, yeah, we have it here, but we don't have it here. So last used hero index. Oof, set last used hero index. Okay, that's setting it. But then last used hero index. When do we use this then? Like when do we? So when is it? I would have thought that when we load. Okay, yeah, this is where we load it. Okay, silly me. So. Okay, so the issue is that we're setting it, but we're not saving it. Okay, yeah, so let's copy that. Set last used hero index. Okay, let's just do the same thing, but for stage. So set last used stage index. And some stupid spaghetti code, but title screen.stages.count. Title screen.stage, selected stage. What's wrong? Selected, is that capitalized? Yes. Lovely coding by me. And then last used stage index equals I, and then save load. So that save load dot save is unnecessary. I mean, I don't think it would cause any problems, but it's just unnecessary. Okay, great. Right. Where were we? So, last known stage. Okay, check for hero talent unlocks. Okay, so this is a bit of a roundabout fudge. So I've coded this in the wrong way. We have you can upgrade it so that your character, so whether it's Sean or Beanie, can have a starting talent in addition to their starting weapon and ally. And you unlock this with leaves, and it checks talent. What is it? So we could say Sean armor. Okay, yeah. So starting talents. When what we should do is like be affecting the starting talents, but it's not like that. It's just a little bit hacky. So what we do is we say Sean armor, or just Sean. Really? Where's Sean armor done then? Yeah, Sean armor. We should be looking at something where somewhere we say that it's in character, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be in character. Sean armor. So if we have, so this would need to be done for each of them. Let me just collapse that. And so, for example, Orko is going to have 1, 2. And so it's just like an extra bit of hacky code. Like we could say that when you unlock it, this permanently adds this as a starting upgrade for Sean, which would just be simply adding to the list. And we have so it's like the code that has that chooses the upgrades that's written on the prefab. But in order to display it, it's written on the hero, and we just kind of have all of them on the hero. So what I need to do is say, like, basically, sadly, it's very, very sketchy. We need to go in, yeah, I mean, so basically, like, so the end result is we're going to see a talent there that he hasn't actually got until he's upgraded it, until you've unlocked that in the options. So, new talent, hero upgrade. Okay. And so we would want to say something like, if it's a weapon, like here. So is the upgrade a talent? Right? So it would be something like this. If, let's go L.names. So if Sean armor is unlocked, then show the armor, and if not, then don't. Right? That's the idea, but it's easier said than done, right? So we can say if, so we can do one of these, and again, this is a bit sketchy, but so if, let's put this here. Very, very sketchy, but it should work. So if the upgrade is not a weapon and not an ally, So doing a hacky bit of code to operate with my other hacky bit of code. I could very easily, well, not very easily, I could, and perhaps I should, just kind of make it so that when these upgrades plug directly into sort of the starting upgrade for the character, right? And that the display, so when we're displaying it in the encyclopedia, it plugs into the starting upgrades for that character, and that's a shared thing. But it's not a shared thing, because then I would have to kind of restructure quite a few things. In the end, I think it is just quicker for me to just hack this code together where I say, if it's an upgrade, if it's not an upgrade, so yeah, if it's not a weapon and it doesn't have an ally, then it is a talent, right? And then we want to say, okay, if it's a talent, so this would actually go before we instantiate the thing. So, hero.name. Where's that selected hero? And this is ugly, ugly, ugly code, but once it's done, we never have to look at it again, and this is still easier than doing it the correct way. Alright, selected hero.names is 0, plus space plus upgrade.names 0, because that's, so this would be Sean armor. If it's not unlocked, don't show it. So if it's not unlocked, then like stop. Break. Meaning stop the for each loop. Okay. This assumes that there is something here. So this is a bit tricky. Let's have a look. This is a bit tricky. Okay, so hide locked talents. Okay, it might actually be easier just to do this properly. So let me explain this. And by explaining it, I'm going to understand it better, and maybe the solution will jump out at me of like the quickest way to do this. So a hero is here. And he has starting upgrades. Where a starting upgrade means that when this character spawns, we go through their starting upgrades that I've written down there, that I've written the names of there, and we apply those upgrades. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. So if I add another one and say axe, he will start with an axe. If I add another one and say blah, it will give me an error. Right? But I wanted to make it, and this was an afterthought, I wanted to make it so that Sean would start with armor, but only if you've unlocked it. Right? So what we do is instead we say if, and so we do this very, very hacky code where we're going to go through each character here and say if you're this character and you've unlocked this leaf, as in you've paid the magic beans to unlock this permanently. Then also upgrade, give him the armor upgrade. Right? Simple. Not too bad. A bit spaghettified, but not too bad. This is the nice easy bit. But once I did the encyclopedia, so then I added the encyclopedia to the game as an option, right? So in the encyclopedia, we can see, I want to be able to see all of their upgrades, not just the starting ones, right? And since that's on the prefab, so if I did it a bit differently, so in this case, the hero, has something called starting upgrades as a string, and this has nothing to do with the thing that's on the prefab. This means that we will show these, right? So in the case of Orko, we're going to, so even though he doesn't actually have armor here, we're showing that he does have armor. So in the case of, so in the encyclopedia, we show an upgrade that he has, that he doesn't have yet. It hasn't been unlocked, right? The simplest thing is just to leave it. But I want to be able to say, like, so what I need to do is plug into this. The problem is that this works not just for heroes. This works for all of the characters. And the other characters don't have like a sort of scripted, readable version, right? The other characters have. So basically, like, what I should have done is when I first started doing this was like, oh, okay, when you unlock this leaf, you are adding this to this prefab, but the information shouldn't really be on the prefab, right? So this works for all of the characters, and the reason it's nice to have it like this is it means that I can really easily just go through these and be like, okay, yeah, well, the Frost Mage has 2 icicles, the Paladin has a sword and a healing staff, right? That would be the sort of, and what we would do is say, well, if you've got and we can't, and that works really well. That works really well. But once I made the encyclopedia, we were no longer able to reference this because we can't really easily reference this from the encyclopedia. What we should have is like characters somewhere, and okay, well, here's a character, and all of this information would be stored in the script on character. That would have been the correct way to do it. Right? And then when we generate a character, prefab, when we make one of these, we would be filling this information out from that root character, right? So we would have something called a character, so this would be like character prefab, and then we would have a class somewhere called character. That would be the correct way to do it. However, as you can imagine, that would be a lot of work. That would be a lot of work to fix that. To go through and make it so that all the characters' stats here are stored somewhere in a script. We did that for weapons. Weapons are all stored within a script. And when we equip a character with a weapon, we give them these. Right? All of these are stored. But for the allies, so let's go Paladin. All we're asking, so we have the rarity, we have things like that, but all we're asking for is this prefab. And the prefab is a bit harder to access, right? Like we can say, oh, get me the Paladin prefab, but it's not stored in the list. It's not easily accessible. So forgive my rambling a bit, but basically to fix this problem the proper way is going to be too much work. It's not sustainable. That's not the correct way to do it. And so I'm going to have to do it in this spaghetti form, where I say, just as we see here, look at starting upgrades. We just say, okay, let's just go through and say, are you Sean? Okay, do you have the Sean armor upgrade unlocked? Okay, well then you can have the armor, rather than putting it in starting upgrades. If I made any sense. Tell me if you want me to explain it again. But yeah, okay, so my conclusion from this little investigation is no, it's going to be too much work to change that. Everything works fine. It's easy to edit, easy to produce, easy to make more characters if we want to. Easy as pie. But we've just got this slight problem here where I don't want to show upgrades that have not been upgraded yet. Or upgrades which haven't been bought yet. The easier thing would be simply, so when we, let's put these here. So when we make a character, so starting upgrades, the easier thing would be to just not show it. And the player knows that because they've unlocked it, and sure enough, there it is. But if they look at the character in the encyclopedia, and if they look at it at the start screen, it's not going to appear there. So we will do it in the same way. We will have it by default not there. We will have it by default not there. So then we're looking at ally upgrade. Yeah. So we'll just do the same thing. We'll put this very hacky code, which is if character, if selected hero dot name is equal to Sean, and if talent, yeah, so if selected, okay, so yeah. And if save load dot current profile dot lease dot first or default l dot name is equal to Sean armor. It's not equal to null if that exists. No, dot. It's not, yeah, let's do if not equal to null. And then again, we could just do that one. Yeah, let's just do that one. Yeah, let's just do that one. Because we just won't have it if it doesn't exist. Then also make another one. And here's where it gets a little bit tricky. So we also have to say if, so we need to make a new list. List string upgrade updated upgrades new list string in So yes, updated upgrades. Add range. Selected hero.starting upgrades. If so, then we say updated upgrades. Add armor, like that. And then that means, so we make a new list, and then we say that list has all of the character starting upgrades. If they have the leaf and if they are the right hero, then add the rewarded item to that list, and then we run this as normal and it should work. And then all we need to do, so show bought talents. And we will have to do this each time we make one of these leaves. Beanie range. And while that seems like quite a lot of spaghetti and quite a lot of work, the reality is that this is less work overall than me going back and restructuring how I make the prefabs, how I make the ally prefabs, the character prefabs. It's going to be less work overall. So we can do the same thing in Encyclopedia, because at the moment the Encyclopedia just shows it. Starting upgrades. So we want to do a similar thing. And basically we will have to add, every time we make a new one of these specific hero starting talent leaves. A leaf is something that you can, like, permanent unlock. When I say leaf, read permanent unlock. Every time we add one of these leaves, we have to add it here. We have to add it here. And we have to add it here. And that sounds like a pain, and it is, but it's actually not too bad. So, yeah, so we need to retrofit this. So we are now looking in updated upgrades. And we are asking for just hero. And there's hero. So, and to be honest, that's not too bad. And that's done now. I figured it out, and I just need to say, okay, so when we make Orco rations, I'll just need to be like, oh, okay, Orco rations, and then I would add that here. So we would just add that here, but it would be selected hero, and we would add that here. And we would add that here. Yeah, here. We would do it like this, so we copy this, and then once again, Orco. Rations. And then we would, of course, have to add it in the leaves as well. But then that's it. That's every time, and it's not going to happen too often. How many heroes am I going to make? Probably no more than like 16 is the minimum, I think. 24 is the likely maximum. If it gets too out of hand, then I can just add more. Like, if it gets too out of hand, then I can maybe just go ahead and, like, fix that core problem. But I don't think this is too much work to do each time. But yeah, because that leaf doesn't exist yet, then I should comment that out. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Okay, that works. So, yeah, that will work. Localize, so that's check for hero talent unlocks on character select screen. Done. And also, I've done it for the encyclopedia as well. Localize character select screen. So I need to do the localization. So I need to actually store a lot more of these pieces and make it so that when I change the language, they're updated. So this is going to add a fair bit here. So I need to say, how do we do it here? So in the options menu, so just language. And I have a script somewhere which will change. Well, I don't need to look at this. So now we need to make it so that we can change the language here. And let me just talk us through that a little bit as I make a list of assets that would need changing when the language changes. And this is a situation where you cannot change, you won't be able to change the language from this screen. You can change the language in the title screen because you can get to the options from here, and you can change the language during the game. So yeah, here we can only see he's got 2. Got Sean. Okay. Okay, let's get this working before I do anything else. So, character select, Sean Armour. Okay. Oh, I didn't do this. I'm sure I did that. Let's test that. There's a duck quacking outside. Don't know if you could hear that. Lovely. All code don't have it. Good. Good, good, good. And it's doing the right color and everything. It's correct. Good. Good. Okay, where was I? Localize. So we want to look at this menu. And I can tell you what would be localized already and what still needs that treatment. So we have... So this is always going to show the character name in the given language, and these will all be translated. These will all be translated as things stand. Should we go... Actually, a really easy way to see it is to actually just change the language. And then we can see su nombre es question mark en español. Su H es un hacha. Bueno. Su ally, su amiga, su amigo, es goblin. Soldado, no. Por favor, no. ¿Por qué? Goblin. Ah. Okay. So I need to translate all of these. Yeah, the ranger is called soldier. The shaman is called soldier. Okay, never mind. So that needs translating. So I'm going to put that on my list of all green bean upgrades need translating. Okay. But that's at least showing me that that's working. And elige tu dificultad is a different one, but one thing I should do here. So let's just before I forget, I just want to make sure that wait a sec. So hero buttons. I think this header is supposed to be in all of the menus. But also what we can do is just reduce its width. So if it says elige tu dificilidad, it will do it like that, and it will be aligned to the top. And we'll use a auto size just in case it goes over. And yeah, the width can be just a little bit thinner than that, so 400 looks good. And it can come down a bit, and that's good. Okay. So at least we have that in somewhere. I'm not worried about that. So the header does adapt. But what we need to do is... So yeah, once again... Oh, that's not the right one. Stop it. Okay. So it is just the verses. I think I'm going to assume, I'm going to hope, I'm going to just rely on the fact that, or on the idea that verses is universal. It's universe. Oh, brilliant. And select hero, select stage. Yeah, I'm going to rely on the idea that that's universal. So it's just select stage, select hero, select difficulty, allied faction, enemy faction. Okay, and I'm going to, so those are the ones we need. And we just need to make sure that we have captured the text in each case. So this would have, so the text, difficulty, header, text, and this is one of these. And then I say the magic incantation before saying what I actually want, right? And we need one of those for allied faction and enemy faction. Enemy faction. We need one for stage. We need one for hero button. Let's just put it here. It's not the best place for it, but hero header text. And so that is hero, stage, allied, enemy, difficulty. Okay. And I'm going to put that all in. It's going to be ever so slightly inefficient, but just because we already have, so update header text. Yeah, set header text. So that changes the header text. But then if we are going into, so we have hero button, root transform. Okay, so header text is that. And then we also need, so we just need to put them all in here as well. So header, I just need to list them all again. So hero, header, text. And yeah, I'll write it out in English, but let's do so. Hero, and how many were there? There was hero, stage, allied faction, enemy faction, difficulty. Stage, allied faction, enemy faction, and difficulty. And so this says select hero, colon, select stage, colon, select, what does it say? It just says allied faction. Allied faction. Is it allied or ally? Allied, good. Enemy faction. And then once again it says select difficulty. Okay. And then basically what I do, so I'll show you how I so basically then what I do is I take that and I send it to Grok, and I've already sort of had this conversation. So let me, I'll just set this up. So just so you can't see all my Grok chats. Wallbeans localization. Can't see all the weird stuff I've been asking it about, like work and visas and all that stuff for my family. Right. So this Grok conversation presumably already understands what I mean, and I'm not even going to give it any context. I'm just going to go. There you go. Sort that out. I'm just going to paste that in, and it should know. Don't give me any bullshit. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't give me any talk back. Translate that. It's taking way too long. Bloody machines. Yep, that seems about right. Yep, there you go. So that's how you do localization in 2025. So then I just copy that by pressing that button. And I've already got all the script highlighted, and I just go that. There you go. Localized. That is how you localize in 2025. I would love to be able to pay someone to do proper localization and make sure that's all correct. But the thing is, you could pay someone and there'd still be issues. So what this does is it means that if there are problems, and there's bound to be like some weird translation problems, like it will just completely get it wrong or say something a bit awkward, then someone will probably tell me. Someone who's playing the game will probably tell me, and then okay, which line is it? Okay, I'll fix that. But it has like a 90% accuracy rate, which is about the accuracy rate of humans, I would think. Okay, so then we need to make sure that we have assigned all of these in the... So if I just go header, it doesn't have all of them. Yeah, no, never mind. I didn't name them properly. That's fine. Hero header text. Panel header. Stage header text. Panel header. Faction, allied faction header. There it is. Oh, is that? Let me just double check that I've got the correct one for hero. Hero header text. Okay, should I name these? Should I name these or should I just carry on as I am? I'm almost done. Enemy faction header. Enemy faction panel. Enemy faction panel header. Difficulty header. Difficulty panel header. That should do it. I should have named them, and then it would have been easier to find them. But again, it's like, will this come up again? I don't know. Am I creating a technical debt for later? That's what they call it. It's like I have saved time at one point by not naming those properly. And then what I have created is a technical debt, meaning that I've borrowed time now, which I may have to pay back in the future. Seleccionar hero, seleccionar etapa. Etapa, is that a good... My wife's Spanish. Is etapa a good translation for stage? Because stage, some people would say level. Some people would call this the level select screen, but I've called it the stage select. Yeah, some weird, what do they call it, like font alias errors there, so that O looks a bit awkward. Is that acceptable? I don't know. But there we go. Seleccionar dificultad. I thought it was dificilidad. Maybe that's a Spanish South America versus South American thing. And also, is it just me, or have these moved again? I thought I fixed this issue with these being slightly to the right. Did I only just notice this now? That should be 255. Okay, let's try that out. Let's see that that's all working. Yeah, that looks better now. Has that been that the whole day? I didn't notice. Okay, and I love how it's remembering my last settings. So we really do have this 2-click play. If I just want to carry on with the same settings I had last time, click, click. Before, so as of Monday, as of the start of Monday, it was such that I would choose my level, I would choose my hero, and then I would choose the stage, and then I would choose the enemy, and then I would choose the difficulty, whereas now it's all on one screen, and it is localized. It works for a controller, and Jesus, I don't know if this is good UI design. I like the fact that we've got allies on the left. I choose my hero and my allied faction, and my facing is which stage am I fighting and which faction am I fighting against. So for example, once we've unlocked undead or demons, I can say, oh, I want to be a human fighting against the demons, but I cannot be a human fighting against humans. That's not allowed. Could be later, but I at least want a chance to reskin them first. And yeah. Okay, awesome. So what's next on the list? Check the random button. So let's check the random button. And check that it's all working as intended. So if I... First, this is where I want the functionality. Yeah. 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 Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah. 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 Okay, and what if I press it here? Okay, and I just want to make sure that these are consistent. So great, that just works. I love it. That's one of the few cases where things just bloody work. Garda Bosques. I didn't know that that's what that was called. Okay, well I kind of need to... That just... Sorry, kind of tangent there. Okay, that works. Brilliant. Brilliant. Garda Bosques. So I need to go and look at my UI prefab for hero upgrade display. And of course, yeah, the name should be a bit thinner. 130 so that it fits height. No higher than that. I don't like the way it kind of doesn't reach the top, but okay, 25, that works. So if there's more information there, big, bad, stupidly large sword with lots of power and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how you want it to work. Okay, the random button works beautifully. So I can just, and again, that is just really nice. If I just want to start a game and go, I don't know, you tell me, press the random button, I get my hero, I get my 8th level. Beautiful. And of course, we do not randomize the difficulty because I don't think you want to randomize the difficulty, but I can also randomize each thing. That feels like, for me at least, that's good. Okay, draw character select buttons. Okay, great. Okay, that's some drawing, but first, grey out unavailable options for enemy factions. So, when we... Okay, so faction button. Okay, so it does select, so select enemy faction, and then it's here that we say, oh, hold on, did you just try and select, wait, what's stopping me? Okay, so faction button, let's bring that over here. What's stopping me? Okay, yeah, if it's not one of the ones, so we block you from picking the same faction as the hero, right? But what is stopping me? And that's fine. That's so yeah, that's what stops me. But what I want to do is say, what I want to do is say, grey those buttons out so it's really clear. So I want to say like, well, no, you are an orc here. You cannot pick the human faction. So we have set our allied faction. Just say like grey out the other buttons. and is it button dot interactable? And it I should have that animated properly, as in if the button is not interactable, then it will be grayed out. And so it would be the same here. Selected enemy faction. Make all the buttons... I've done it differently here, haven't I? So for each in there, button image sprite equals button standard. Yeah. Okay, it's because select enemy faction is based on an int. So we can do it slightly differently. So for each trans button shiny, and these ones become button standard, and if button so if we go button dot get component faction button, this is horrible code. Dot, let me just check this important. Yeah, not important. My wife's at the park. I always have to check my phone. Button dot get component faction button dot image. Yeah, so dot faction. No, if dot faction is equal to like selected hero. This is such spaghetti, but it will work. Dot names 0 is equal to selected hero dot faction dot names. Do not look to me as an example of a good programmer. Look to me as an example who can make games despite being not very good at programming, which is a different kind of skill. Button dot. So if that button for the button, then this one should be trans dot get component. So button dot interactable equals false, and we need to make sure to switch them back on again. Where do we do that? I guess we could just do it here. Right? That should work. I expect that to work. Let's see. I feel like coding and tidying up the code are like two different jobs. Huh. Is that because selected hero doesn't exist yet? I think that's why. Yeah, okay. So, because select enemy faction happens first, and there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. It's because, okay. I mean, it might just be self-explanatory, right? Like, you can't play against your own faction And we don't have to hide the button for you to know that. I just feel like it's decent quality of life. Okay, so where is the error? That's the easiest way to find it. So if selected. Wait, here's a. Do you want to do some spaghetti? Do you want to see some fucking spaghetti that will work? Excuse my language. Do you want to see some spaghetti that will work? Okay. That'll work. It's spaghetti, but it'll work. I mean, I think it'll work. I hope it'll work. Otherwise, I'll look pretty stupid right now. Ha! Ha! Okay. Oh, but these ones then become interactable. Like that. Why is that the case for this one, but not this one? I'm not sure. Okay, I won't question it too much. So, yeah, I mean, you've seen me, if you've been watching the stream this whole week, you'll have seen me take the character select screen from a very simple set of like, choose this one, then this one, then this one, which arguably is better. I don't know. You tell me. Was the old way better? To something, to this, where now we are only ever 2 clicks from the title screen to get to playing. 1, 2. 2 clicks away from starting the game, as opposed to 5 or 6 clicks. And let's say we don't want to play as the same character and level each time. Well, then you are 3 clicks away. You go hit 1, 2, 3, and you're in a game, and you're in a randomly generated game. And it's localized, and it works for the controller. I would say that is a good little chunk of work. And in the course of that, you've seen a lot of spaghetti code. To be honest, I'm quite self-deprecating. It's not that bad. And we have, like, it's not that bad at all. It's just, I know how much better it should be, could be, and would be. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. So, there's that. Alright then. Grey out unavailable options for enemy faction. So the last one is to... The last thing we have to do to complete this little job is to redraw these sprites. So we will have... I will take the button as a reference. So I think UI button, unless it's in the root menu. Button. I think button is in the root menu, but button shiny isn't. That's something I should just go ahead and fix. That's just something I should go ahead and fix. I think I can do it from here. Sprites. Button should live in UI, because it is UI. And then that should have updated for... Okay, I just wanted this for reference. So this is 32 by 32. So if we said like... Yeah, hold on. So then we have our character select screen. We have our here. So yeah, we have our hero button. And so if like it's 30 wide, it's like, so it should be like 26 by 32, 26 by 33. Should we do 26 by 33? But then shall we make it a bit bigger than that actually? So it should be like 64 by, let's say 66 by 52. Let's try it like that. So we will make a new one. No, I want to be able to use those colors. Okay, so 66 by 52. Other way around. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this, and we will call this select hero buttons, because we're going to have the first one. So we will do a 1x1 black outline. We will bevel the edges of this outline. Keeping with the style of before, with the, what do you call that, like ungapped, continuous diagonal. Is that right? Yeah, there. So it's just like a little L. Huh. And we have, so what does this color, can I just, one oh seven, and we want the line tool, no, not L, line, and we just draw the outline there. Just to get the colors exactly right. And then what I should do, again, I can talk about best practices. What I should do is have a palette, right? Shall I do that now? Having this stream just kind of keeps me honest. So we have a new color that is one part of the Warbeans catalog, which is 107, 107, 107. And that is our color. That's already, so I've already made the Warbeans color palette, and I can make more if it gets too populated. But the idea is, here are the colors I'm using for Warbeans, and I could have a separate one which is like Warbeans UI or something like that. Okay, and then we have this color, which is 229, 229, 229. So again, best practices. 229, 229, 229, and bucket, no, come on, 6, bucket that in, And it's as simple as that. No, it's not rocket science, nothing too crazy. It's just going to make this look a bit nicer. Let's give that a try before doing the other one. And we are going to have another version. Turn that off, please. Going to have another version where, in this case, the outline is pure white. No, not pure white, off-white. And I will take the A to get that square, and then that's clearly a highlighted version of the button. Select hero buttons, and we don't have this yet. Good. Okay, save. Done. Okay, and now we look in here and find that. This is a sprite with more than one inside, with no filter, and RGB 32A. That gives it, otherwise it kind of gets a bit blurry when what you want is that nice kind of pic. You want it to look exactly as you drew it, basically. Oh, hey babe, it's going well. How was the park? I think my wife's kind of half watching on her phone. So I don't know if she can speak to me. I mean, she's downstairs. I could just go and talk to her, but so we will take this, open the sprite editor, and we make one here and one here. Save, and we will take, and then we go to our thing. Select hero button. Oh, you went for a walk, that's right. Yeah, my son, for some reason, he said, I don't want to go to the park, I want to go for a walk, which is kind of boring, isn't it? And what do we call this? Select hero button. See, that looks nicer, doesn't it? Let's make it a bit wider. Right after we've kind of done that. Yeah, no, that just sort of looks good. But what I would like to do is take the text and actually we can just move it to the right, or should we just reduce the width? Oh, we do both. Okay, yeah, so it sits nice and neatly under there. This text will never be that long, so I barely need to worry about overflow or anything. It's just so that in addition to seeing what items the hero has, which is kind of covered now. So in the descriptions of the heroes, I say starts with sword and shoulders. But actually, because we now, every time you see that information, he'll have that on the right. So we can be a bit more flavorful and say a brave hero who can summon allies. Right? And then we could say a quick and, I don't know, guileful, a quick and clever ranger who reigns, who can summon a volley of arrows. And then we would say a fierce warrior. We've got a brave hero, a fierce warrior who can attack very fast. His special is that his attack speed becomes absurdly high for like 6 seconds. So a fierce warrior who can use all of his weapons really quickly. I don't know, who can summon flurry of attacks. That'll do for now. Rather than, and so then it's a little bit more flavorful because you've already, we don't have to explain what items he has. Let's see. Draw characters. Okay, so yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then the other thing is I want it to, so select hero button, animation. So yeah, what you have is, because basically I'm using the same animation like thing for all the buttons, and that works well for like when they're pressed. But I wonder if that's even really an issue. Like, so what I'm thinking of doing is just creating a whole new animation thingy, right? What do I mean by thingy? I'm talking about animator. So the animator, as opposed to the animation, is the same as the option button, and it's the animator is called the option button. The controller. The animation controller is called the option button. Whereas what I want to do is say, so I would give it a new controller. That's what I would give it. A new controller that is for the UI buttons, where what I want is, where basically it would just be a bit different. I think that's what I'm going to do. But let's just, and the nice thing about the animation I've done is that it's got like a nice button press effect. I mean, yeah, the highlight is good. And you see that it just goes like a little bit white for a bit and it goes in and out a little bit. And, you know, like it's sort of, do you see the little flash there? And the little sort of animation when we press a button? That doesn't come built into Unity. But I just feel that's a nice, like, oof. I wonder, but then I think having this sort of white outline might be a bit more classy. So it doesn't grow, it flips to white. I just feel a bit awkward about it growing like that. But you know what? I don't know. Again, if there's anyone watching that can answer that, the lazy part of me, and that is a very big part of me. That's why I'm a programmer. Because lazy people make good programmers. Wait, why is Orko's name? Are we still in Spanish? Yeah. Why is Orko's? Yeah. If you're if you're lazy, you're going to be good at programming because rather than doing everything yourself each time, you're going to find a way to give yourself less work, and that's what a good programmer does. It's like Factorio. If you're playing Factorio, if you're not lazy, you'll be quite happy to just haul all of the iron from one place to another each time you play, right? You'd be like, oh, I need to mine this iron. Okay, well, I will mine this iron. A lazy person says, why the hell would I mine this iron? I'm going to put a miner on it, and then I'm going to go and make a cup of tea, or I'm going to go and have a sleep. So that's why being lazy makes you a good programmer. That's a good one. Good little video idea. Why being lazy makes you a good programmer. Right. I guess, yeah, that'll be... Okay, so where was I? So yeah, the lazy part of me says, oh, just bloody leave it, it's fine. The growing is fine. It's consistent throughout the game. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave that to future me to make that decision. For now, I'm going to leave it as it is. And if future me says, oh, it's why you're lazy, then, well, that's future me's problem. Why? Wait, hold on. I thought I fixed this. Interact. Character select. Interact. interactable. So for the if stage.unlocked equals false, and then we say it's here that it needs to go. So here as well. I don't know. Again, kind of not gonna think too much about it. If it's locked, if it's not locked, then make it interactable again. That should do it. And now I don't know if I need both of those there. Okay. One thing I can do, that I should do, is basically what is make this one. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Lovely. It's very clear that yes, one day you will be able to select a faction here, but it is not this day. You will be able to select different factions, but because there's only 2 factions, you actually can't select factions at all, right? So if I took the to get the right dimensions for the button, I said width and height divided by 10 and then times 2. So 26 became 260 became 52, 330 became 66. Then and that looks good, I think. That sort of matches. Then for the selected stage button, so that would be 110 and 72. $110, 72. And this is select stage buttons, and we will do the same thing. We will make a big old black rectangle, then we're going to bevel it. It's a bit bigger. We're going to bevel it, and by just doing this, maybe because it's a bigger button, we can have a bigger bevel. We'll see if it looks weird. And then we just draw our little L's. L, 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 L. And then because we already have the bloody color, we don't have to go copying it again. Because I'm doing things properly now that I'm being watched, which is good. So I would recommend to anyone who is thinking about making games, yeah, streaming is a good idea. You get the odd subscriber. I'm sure one day one of you might wishlist the game. And I think, but the point is that it keeps you honest, I think. And we will do the same thing just in case. I mean, I don't know if we'll need it, but let's just go ahead and do that just for consistency. And there we go. Select stage buttons. There we are. We'll close that pistol. Don't need it anymore. No. Yes. I don't care. Don't save any of that, please. And then we take it. Select stage buttons. Sprite. No filter. 32. Apply. Sprite editor. If you've got a lot of them, what you do is you kind of automatically... What's going on? Oh, because I'm in play mode. Oh, don't be such a wimp. And again, I just copied and pasted that there. Okay, and then we have our select stage buttons. We will open that scene. Oh, the difficulty panel's another one we could look at. Yeah, because that's not right. That's not right. That's not correct. It's barely noticeable. Sort of looks fine, doesn't it? I think I'll probably just leave that. Because again, this whole thing could change. That's the thing you need to remember when making games, is don't be too precious about it, because it might completely change. I might say this whole UI is ruined, I don't like it anymore. Or I might get in a UI designer who will throw all of this away. So I'm not going to bother getting the correct bits for those. Right, so stage, select stage button, and it's actually the button image we're looking at. Okay, and then now that's kind of consistent with that one. And I think it just looks a bit nicer. Okay. Character select buttons, yeah. All right then. I think to round off the session, let's just play. Let's just play. Scenes. I'm just going to do a little round of playing the game and see what comes up. And I'm going to do it with the controller. Oh yeah, no, I'll use the orcs, because that's the one I'm really testing. Oh no, I wanted to do a playthrough as Sean on the bridge on level 1 difficulty, and just see if it felt much, much easier than playing as the orcs. And just double check, is that the mouse? Yeah, just double check. I can easily change the language. And let's go. Okay. So yeah, R2 and L2 to zoom in and out. Just going to turn the volume down so I don't have to shout over myself. I don't know if my wife's watching, but if you are, could you tell me if the audio levels are okay? I'm going to put the game to quite quiet, and someone can tell me if it's too quiet. Okay, let's go. Like, the game's almost telling me to pick a healer here, and so I will. And healers are good. So I want to see if I have a much easier time winning than I did as the orcs. That could be a balance issue. That could be because when you play as the orcs, you have to kind of get your weapons going before anything else. I mean, already I think... Is it that, like, soldiers are a bit better than goblins? Or is... No, I think one thing is having healers in your army. So maybe the takeaway here is that orcs must have healers in there. Like, every faction has to have healers in their army. Or is there a better way? Like, what if... Here's one as well, right? Like, so what if for the loot goblin... Let's get... what if the loot goblin didn't pick up stuff for you, but when it died, it would actually drop stuff for you if it dies on your team? That's one idea. Okay. Haven't actually played the game in a little while. I mean, it feels like a while for me because I played the game a lot. Let's get Let's start towards Fire Witch. Fire Witch is good. Nice. Nice big swarm. I'll try and get on the other side of them to kind of split them up a bit. Let's get both magic weapons. And check, is the priest... Does the priest is supposed to, like, so all healing characters are supposed to favor healing someone else before they heal themselves, and I wonder if that's still working. I think the big difference might be healing. So I should start writing down like test formats. So one test format would be, can I win without picking any healing as a human? The thing is, that is a bit like can I win? I mean, what do I mean here? The healing is like the human's thing. So the undead, they're not going to have healing, and the demons, they're not going to have healing. Healing is the human's thing. It's like one of our special things. I mean, it could be that undead have like native healing, so they don't have healers. They just all have damage regeneration. Actually, I should write that down. All undead should have damage regeneration. This is before I've even made a single undead character, but it's nice to have these things written down somewhere. And then you think with orcs, right? Like, what if orcs had lifesteal or something? No, I think the interesting thing about orcs is that they kind of don't value life as much as the other factions, right? Or they're at least not as much as humans. So orcs are like, they won't revive themselves, they won't heal. They're all about surviving regardless. But then, of course, there is still chicken. And then, of course, maybe the undead don't heal. The undead are all about don't bother healing, just spawn more units. But the orcs should have heals. What do you think? Should the orcs have heals or not? Like, I'm trying to get people to help me design this game, like, and have that input, because I think that's fairly significant. Should orcs heal? Like, they would have a... Should orcs heal? I'm going to put that as a question. Orcs heal. That's like a deep something I can toss and turn at night about. Should orcs have access to healing? Because it would be fun to give them some like chain heal. Maybe the totem can be kind of rethought of, not as a kind of AoE heal character. Orcs and goblins, should they heal? Because this is, I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings. Mally's asking, what's the black liquid? Some grog. Give them some grog. Like, so there's chicken in the game. Like, chicken is the one thing that they would have. Okay, what should I pick? Talking of healing. So I don't have any healing, so this isn't going to be good. This is okay, but I already have healers. And chance for enemies to explode when killed by a player. None of these are quite a good synergies at the moment. Yeah, give them some grog. So what if like orcs specifically had access? Like, so I do want the orcs to have a chef character, which would be what you would unlock by unlocking the Easter egg. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but if you eat a lot of chicken, something happens, and then what I would want is for if you survive that, then you would unlock. Should we try doing that? Let's go for a chicken run. Then you would unlock a character which is like a chef themed character, and that would be like an orc character who can heal, and they heal by having access to lots of food, right? I'm thinking of, there's a character in Warhammer. Oh, I need rations. There's a character in Warhammer called it's like the goblin in the paunch thingy. There's an update, and it's this goblin who like heals. Oh, that's the other half of Chicken Rain. And then we would just need luck to fill that, fulfill those conditions. And there is precedent for. I mean, yeah. So we've got Warcraft has like chain heals, totemic healing, that kind of thing. Warhammer has goblins that stir pots. And then, yeah, I guess Lord of the Rings orcs have their grog. But essentially, Lord of the Rings orcs. But healing in Lord of the Rings is definitely an elf thing, right? It's not a human thing. It's not a dwarf thing. It's an elf thing. The game's running beautifully compared to before, which is nice. Let's go take these guys on. Oh, I feel like the... Yeah, okay, I think they're a good size. Those used to be bigger. But yeah, I think that's sort of fine as they are. We don't need too many, like, super large enemies. Yeah, I don't know. I think orcs should have access to healing. Is my sort of gut answer here. Is that it was maybe a bit silly to not give them any healing. I had luck. I passed up on luck. Yeah, it was a bit silly to not give orcs healing. That's an undead thing. Yeah, but Aragorn was... Aragorn, where did he learn it? Where did Aragorn learn his healing skills? He learned them from his missus, from the elves. All right, this is going really well, and I'm quite impressed at how well it's running compared to before. This is due to a lot of optimization improvements I've done lately. I think projectiles might be despawning too quickly. So I'll write that down as a note. Projectiles despawning. What's going on? What? Oh, yeah, despawning too quickly. So that's either due to their range or the fact that I might have reduced the total amount that can be on screen at once in an effort to improve optimization. Oh yeah, I was going to ask Mally, if you're still there, are the audio levels okay? Can you still hear the game? Can you hear my voice clearly over the game? Is the game too quiet? So I want to find that sweet spot of settings so that it always works. Yeah, let's go full on chicken build. And to me, man, for Beandor. More luck. I'm actually going to go back and get those because I'm worried that they'll despawn. Yeah, I mean, so those tier 2 units, the combined enemy units, are formidable because they've got good health. So they don't need to be like inflated in size. I think that's good. I think that's fine where it is. Yeah, okay, so we're going for this chicken build here. We haven't picked up any chicken yet, but we will. Need to upgrade rations. And then we should have access to the chicken rain upgrade. Oh, lovely. That's a clutch. Oh, the game's a bit too quiet. Okay, let's turn that up. I think what I should do is turn it up in the stream. Yeah. I think I'll turn it right up, and then it's like the game that I should turn down if it's not bad. Luck. I do like this level in that just all the enemies appear from one side. Rain of chicken! So now, periodically, chicken is just going to fall from the sky. And each time I eat some chicken, I'm going to summon 2 allies. Oh, there's a warlock. Tamiman! Too loud. That should be good. And then it's easy to remember, it's just one tap. Okay, we've got some chicken there, but I'm stuck in my men. Is that a bug or a feature? I think it's a feature. I'm sure many people will disagree. Get the mouse off to the side. Chicken! We're quite close to the loot goblin. We are smashing this. So I do think it would be interesting to create then a healer character for the orcs. But then the issue there is I haven't given, like, there's no healing characters when you play against the orcs. And yeah, I kind of hope that I'm going to get... One thing we do need is more artifact rerolls. Like, that would be a very powerful thing to have because, yeah, we didn't get anything that benefits from chicken or healing. So, all allied projectiles gain 1 piercing. We've got 2 allies with projectiles. We haven't really got a... Yeah, so let's get that. That'll be good. Perfect, she says. Good. And so far the game is running relatively like butter, considering I don't have the most amazing computer and I'm streaming and I'm playing in Unity. So this is good. So if you have a good computer at home, this game should run for you quite well with no problems. Okay. To me. It's going to be disappointingly weak, I think. As in, because I'm playing on level 1 difficulty, this is just going to be a cakewalk. A chicken walk. Paladin, been waiting for you for a while. But as you can see, I don't have a lot of personal survivability. I could die quite quickly if I'm reckless. Let's go get some chicken. Some mana, that'll do. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the game before in this kind of state would be running like piss. but now it's running quite well. Let's get a Bannerman. Let's re-roll. Let's get a Witch. Yeah, nice. And chicken. Is that actually summoning people? Double check. I need to double check that. Double check. Double check. Chicken summon is working. I'm sure it is. It's just I can't see the allies popping up. Because there's just so many around, and yeah, we are just absolutely killing it. I mean, this is how easy I want easy to be. So yeah, there is something fundamentally wrong. I mean, maybe I just had an unlucky run, but there is fundamentally something wrong with the orcs in that it is a little bit too hard to win with them. There should actually be like parity in that, like but maybe it is an issue of like if the orcs have access to 3 allies and 2 weapons. Sorry, 3 allies and 5 weapons. That just plainly isn't as good. Like, this game is all about having allies. Let's get some ranged if we can. This game is all about having allies. You cannot win just by... If you're playing Vampire Survivors, you're playing it wrong. This game is about dominating, standing up to this big group of orcs. Or undead, or whatever it's going to be. I need to be careful or I'm going to get killed. Yeah, priest will heal me up. Get that bomb. Just relax. Crowd surf, it's fine. It's no rush. Get the bomb. Somebody set us up the bomb. Oh, another bomb. Well, that'll be that luck stat doing its job. Okay, we are 13 minutes in and we have killed 2,500 orcs. Okay, these lot are sufficiently tough. That's good. Let's get the Fire Witch. You should be absurdly strong at this point. So yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of performance quivers, but nothing too crazy, and we are about as intense as it will get in terms of demand. But yeah, look at that clash. All of these dudes running into each other, smashing. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's have another crossbow. Since we've kind of got ranged advantage here. Let's get yet another fireball. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let the chaos continue. Burning and freezing them up so that they all... Just this burning, frozen mash, slushy orc horde coming at me. I wonder if on this level all of the enemies should be coming from the right and none of them should be spawning in my sort of circle. Okay. Okay, this'll work. Summon to chance. Summon. Yeah. 5% chance to summon a random ally on heal, and heal. If I heal with the chicken, that counts as a heal. So that's a lot of heal. It kind of means that the like basically any buff, any artifact that benefits from healing, that procs on heal, is kind of just going to be plainly better than an artifact that procs on chicken. So let's buff all chicken artifacts. Oi. To the back and then one to the right. Yeah, I'm playing with controller today. Just to make sure that's all still working. Yeah, let's get the ranger. Because he'll make use of the Pierce artifact that we have. Got loads of mana from the luck. Luck might be too powerful. But I don't want it to be unpowerful. I don't want it to not feel good to have, you know? I want it to be like, oh, I've got luck, I've got loads of items. But this is one of those things of balance, of like... and it doesn't do to do a spreadsheet of like, oh, well, what's doing more damage, because it's never that simple. Oh, the chicken! The chicken! I ate too many chickens and the chicken boss is here! No, the chicken! Oh, this is great. Kill the chicken! Kill the chicken! Kill it! Kill the chicken! Okay. Something happened. Okay. That's fine. So chicken, so bug on returning chicken to pool. And so what I need to do, so it like kind of just like if pool handle the original prefab is equal to null, is not equal to null, then return it. Wait, are we getting that? So if I, yeah, I mean we can't set that, so Does the chicken have pool handler? I think that's the problem. Let me see. Let's collapse a few of these. Prefabs, green beans, heroes, chicken queen. I think that's going to be it. It does not have a pool handler. So add pool handler to chicken. That's the problem. Because it already does that. And if original prefab is null, then I mean that's not going to be a problem. So let's just Control Z a bunch of things here. Yeah. Did I change? No, that's all I've done today in this script. Okay, good. So add pool handler to chicken, and also make like lower HP bar on chicken queen to make it easier to see. And also, yeah, no, that's fine. It was a bit sort of, I'm sure a lot of players will be quite confused when that happens. But yeah, if you eat too many chickens, then that will happen. And also, I think we can just nudge up the chance of chicken. Raise chicken queen threshold. Just so that, because I feel like that was too easy. I think we should have to eat a few more chicken before incurring the wrath of the chicken queen. Okay, we are a little bit struggling a little bit with frame rate, but I'm fairly confident that this is only because like it's fine. Because it's there's a lot going on and I'm recording and playing in Unity. I don't think it would be stuttering like this if I was playing a build. Yeah, this is fun. Oh, I'm not. See, I got to be careful. Like, I almost got myself killed there. Because, yeah, I've got a strong army, but I don't have much survivability. Yeah, increase size of level of tier 2 units. Okay, there's loads of chicken back there. You see how when I get chicken, because I'm healing a bunch of people, I'm also going to be summoning, because I have a chance to summon on heal. Okay, we have a lot of units. In my defense, there's that game Rogue Genesia, which also kind of stutters a bit when at like the peak of the game. But we still have a bit further to go for optimization. Oh dear. But yeah, I think it would run better outside of Unity right now. Okay, that's a very clutch magnet. And yeah, this is what I dreamed of. It's just me and the boys, and a sort of seemingly infinite horde of orcs. But oh my goodness, they're killing me quite quickly. Time to fall back a bit. Okay, let's get the flaming sword. Although I think I'm kind of just a chicken feeder at the moment. There's the loot goblin. Come here. Lovely, 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 lovely. And yeah, I mean, if my army starts to die, I can just run back and there'll be like a big, long trail of chicken. And I'll be able to sort of replenish my army. Which is a point in favour of chicken artifacts versus heal artifacts. Okay, what's going on here? Just chaos. Just chaos. I love it. We've got 30 seconds left. For the human beings! Another one of these. Little bit sketchy, but like not nearly as bad as it used to be. Yeah, we can still improve performance a bit. I think it might be a matter of just like when things get to this level, we should be like switching a few things off. Oh, there's the foot. Foot seems to be slow down foot animation. It seems to happen too fast. And there we have it. That's Warbeans. That's the latest version of Warbeans. Yeah. Still a long way to go, but we're getting there. We have nice new UI here. We have new faction to play as, and there will be more. And we have we have the chicken and we have the foot. So it's been a good month for Warbeans for sure. Okay, thank you very much for joining the stream. I've got stuff to do there, but I am going to take a little break and come back with a fresh mind. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock, same time. Cheers, thanks for joining. Bye.